Hello and welcome to PokeSins.
Hypno's nap time!
After winning a rainbow badge from Erica,
Winning.
Where are we, Brock?
Hop town?
You are shitting me. This shot. Mothers that hug their children like that.
Could he have gone off to become a Pokemon trainer?
He did like Pokemon, of course, but he never mentioned anything about becoming a trainer.
This raises an interesting point. There must be people in this world who don't like Pokemon. Liking them is just a socially accepted stance. And being a trainer is clearly an entirely viable option for young people. With optional education and a largely globe-trotting youth, there are lots of questions about society and work that one sentence raises. 2 pluses for foundations of world building? Misty's face looks a bit weird there.
Don't you think he'll probably just come home soon?
Misty suggests that a mother, whose son has been missing for 3 days, is overreacting. They just happen to be sitting next to all of the missing posters in the city.
This must be a pretty dangerous town.
My picture's gonna be on posters when I'm a big famous star.
While discussing the fates of 9 missing children, Misty changes topic to her vanity.
Excuse me?
Maybe in horror movies.
After discussing the fates of 9 missing children, Ash talks about horror movies.
They certainly were nice children, all of them.
Are we supposed to believe that Officer Jenny knew all the children personally?
Disappearing one by one like that? I just can't understand it.
She seems remarkably blasé about all this.
Let's see, where should I hang this one?
She actually has to think about where to hang the next poster in a line of posters.
Are you the cousin or second cousin of the Jenny in Maiden's Peak?
Stupid f***ing gag.
Actually, I'm her cousin's cousin.
There is no blood relation between cousins of cousins. Where did I put that incest card?
They're all exactly alike.
Yeah, I'm pissed too, Misty. Ash completely vanishes, 1 frame to the next.
We can both work together hand in hand.
Just don't get in the way.
She accepts the help of some random stalker guy. Given its location, Jenny's bike should be visible in one of these 2 shots.
She reminds me of my mom.
Good use of a flashback. Nicely done moment. But why is Ash punching? And the bike should be where Ash is standing.
All of the missing children disappeared exactly 3 days ago.
All of them? Then why are you only now putting up a poster? Between shots, they all swap positions. Who the f*** designed that?
So we'll ask the kids in the Pokemon Center if they know anything.
That's it, Brock! Brilliant deduction!
Ash's stupidity is played for laughs.
Have you seen this little boy before?
The weird echo on the speech.
I haven't.
The f*** did that kid say? I haven't.
You do think she's beautiful, don't you? Come on, what do you say?
Brock's really climbing the creepy scale this episode.
I bet you're related to the Joy from Maiden's Peak, aren't you?
Why is Ash so obsessed with Maiden's Peak today? Also referring to this gag again.
I'm afraid I've got my hands full with our own mystery. All the Pokemon here at the center are behaving very strangely.
Well, we're sort of dealing with 9 missing children. Well, 10 now. I think that's a tad more important. The way they get distracted so easily reminds me of how I play Skyrim.
Even Magikarp is affected, and it's usually full of life.
Maybe it's because you're suffocating it out of water.
Looks like it's ready for the deli counter.
A reminder that people eat Pokemon. It's also an incredibly insensitive joke. It also doesn't make sense as we've established that you can't eat Magikarp.
And this one's been in just terrible shape.
What is it?
I actually have to commend them. By having all Pokemon they've already met up to there, they put the spotlight on Psyduck.
How long have they been acting like this?
Since 3 days ago.
You mean for 3 days? The f*** is that? Also, looking at the size of it, where is she keeping it?
I bet I know what that is. A handsome guy detector.
By that logic, you're not one, Brock, because it didn't react to you.
This is a sleep wave detector.
Sleep waves. Is that standard equipment for police? Who would build that? Why? Except in this one situation, what possible applications could that have?
I knew it. The sleep waves are coming from this town.
So Team Rocket has a sleep wave detector too. Why? If they didn't know these sleep waves were coming from this town, how the fuck would they know to bring a sleep wave detector here? How do they even know they exist? These sleep waves are so fucking contrived.
We'll find the source of the waves.
And we'll use them to knock out the boss.
They could have thought of a better use than that. Also, how aren't the sleep waves affecting Meowth? What is the nature of a sleep wave that it works in a lift when things like phones don't? Why do they use the Team Rocket logo to show roof? Where's the room with the lift in? Because it's sure as hell not that. A police officer stands and watches as two children commit breaking and entering. And don't tell me it's lawful because I don't see a warrant. Misty could clearly see through the window at all these people and said nothing.
Are you new members?
A posh man sees two children break down the door and assumes they're members of his club.
We've been monitoring some sleep waves coming from up here.
Sleep waves? Oh, I know.
The posh man instantly accepts both that sleep waves exist and that there's sufficient reason to break into his house.
Said to be a descendant of the dream-eating tapir.
The dream-eating tapir. Either that's a mythical creature in their world, or it's widely accepted that tapirs used to be able to eat dreams. Either way, don't be silly, Pokedex. Tapirs don't exist.
We've been using the Pokemon instead of using sleeping medicine.
This is a story about drug use.
Members of the Pokemon Lovers Club.
Well,
living our lives in the city can be very stressful, and all of the members suffer from insomnia, so we've come to rely on Hypno's powers to help us get to sleep at night.
This is one of the weirdest organizations in the Pokemon world. Nightmare Fuel.
Since the wavelength was changed to affect humans, it's creating a side effect for the Pokemon.
Sleep wave wavelength. They're now rationalizing things based on the premise of sleep waves. Sleep waves have been defined as
wavelengths that induce sleep.
How the fuck does that translate to this?
Seal. Misty, come back! Ugh.
Seal.
So, did she go down the lift? If so, how are they so close behind her? How is she even able to operate a lift in her condition?
I can't believe there's a park this big in the middle of the city!
Right, hold on, this is gonna hurt. Why the fuck didn't they search the park? How have these people survived for 3 days in a hypnosis state, presumably without any food or water? By the fact that the rich people were awake, it shows the hypnosis effect does wear off. Why didn't it wear off these? If Misty had to be at point blank range for it to affect her, how the fuck did it affect these kids from the top of a skyscraper? How are all these kids' clothes in such good condition if they've been living as Pokemon for 3 days? How is that kid going down a nearly vertical tree? What the hell made them all come to this exact spot?
Why are they acting that way?
Pokemon-itis. With that new wavelength, the children who were exposed to Hypno's sleep waves think that they're Pokemon now.
Is that a real thing, or did he just make it up on the spot? If it is a real thing, and this has never happened before, how is it known? Is it really possible for sleep waves to give someone a mental illness? Assuming she's been doing that all along, how is she not frozen to death? Instead of rushing to help, calling backup, or, their parents, Jenny just stares. What Pokemon could these three possibly be?
Alright, wake up everyone, it's time to go home. Come on, stop this. Wake up now, kids. All of your mothers are worried sick. It's just no use.
You definitely did all you could.
Sleep emits dream wavelengths, which in this case may counteract Hypno's wavelengths.
Dream wavelengths. So sleep waves induce sleep, which causes dream wavelengths, which counteract sleep waves. Fuck me. How did they get Misty back there? The weird jerky animation.
Hey, where am
Gee, Misty, you're looking kind of beat.
Ash is such a dick. Drowsy seems to be enjoying that a bit too much. From where are they gliding?
Hot Jessie!
Did she just call herself Hot Jessie?
Hot Jessie!
A Meowth-sized glider.
We'll just have to see who's dreaming after this.
Where was she hiding that?
Just don't hypnotize me. Okay, do it.
Hypno does it! Ash somehow threw a pot through James to break the mirror. The pot should then have carried on and hit Hypno.
I don't get it. Why didn't we do this from the beginning?
We have to fill a half hour.
A brilliant fourth wall break.
Okay, Pidgeotto, powerful gust!
Powerful gust is not an attack. Again, the police officer sits back as a child does all the work.
I suppose this means that we blew it again!
They have gliders! Jerky animation again. So they did just leave these children unattended in the middle of a park next to a large body of water. What has so far been shown to be a directional attack somehow affects Pikachu behind him.
Hey, how did I get into the middle of the park?
And that's all they worry about, waking up in the park.
Me too, and I should be working on becoming a Pokemon trainer.
A child wakes up from 3 days of being in a hypnosis state and his first thought is, I want to be a Pokemon trainer.
I want to be a fireman, and I'm going to be a doctor.
Apparently waking up from hypnosis makes you just declare your life goals.
And I'm going to be a doctor.
Well, that's clearly Misty's voice.
And I'm going to be a doctor. When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it.
So after declaring their life goals, they all run off in different directions. Officer Jenny, continuing her stellar police work, lets them go. How did she know to go there? That child was not there earlier. He does look a f*** of a lot like Ash, though. Is this why Ash's dad isn't around?
They must have been dreaming of getting stronger and evolving.
Why?
I dream about that sometimes too.
A nice human moment.
All of the Pokemon are better, but this one's still holding its head.
Psyduck is even holding his head in the Pokédex entry, so it's clearly just what they do. How does a Pokemon medical professional not know that?
Psyduck constantly suffers from a headache.
Why would Joy not know that? Certainly is one of the most interesting Pokemon captures. Shame it's so damn cheap.
Oh, no, I've got the headache.
There, they've made that joke. This time it's fine, but a minor every future time.
Congratulations!
Don't congratulate me!
Misty responds to the narrator. -107. Sleep waves don't have the same impact as James's boobs.